Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. It's nice to be with you again.
Welcome to another program of Module 7.
As you know, the topic in this unit is education.
And in our documentary, we're going to talk about education too. We will visit a university that's a bit special, Heriot Watt University.
We've chosen this university because it offers some degrees that you can't study in most universities. For example, the degree in brewing and distilling.
Brew significa fabricar cerveza, brew. Distill es destilar licores, distill. Brewery es una fábrica de cerveza y distillery es una destilería.
And here are the names of other degrees that you might have difficulty in understanding. For example, submarine engineering, ingeniería submarina, or virtual reality, realidad virtual. Y algunas más clásicas como accountancy, contabilidad, economics, económicas, y business studies, que viene a ser lo que aquí conocemos como empresariales.
You'll also hear the names of some industries. For example, brewing industry, la industria cervecera, malting industry, la industria de la elaboración de la malta, oil industry, que es la industria petrolífera, y finance industry, que se refiere al mundo de las finanzas.
And these are the questions you will have to answer after watching the documentary. The first question is, how many different degrees does Heriot Watt offer?
Next question, why does it have a degree in brewing and distilling? And finally, is Heriot Watt open to Spanish students?
Let's find the answers in our Out and About.
This is Heriot Watt University on the outskirts of Edinburgh. It gets its name from two famous Scots, James Watt, inventor of the steam engine, and George Heriot, a great 17th century merchant.
Heriot Watt is a modern university which specializes in technical studies, with a number of specialities that can only be studied there.
From submarine engineering to virtual reality, programming or laser studies, the most advanced technology is at the service of teaching and industry. Heriot Watt University claims to be different. We asked David Vogt, Director of External Affairs, what makes Heriot Watt different.
Heriot Watt is different because the courses and the research we undertake here are relevant to industry and commerce. The courses in engineering, science, physics mean that the students become professionals in those areas, and the research we do for the oil industry, for the finance industry, are all relevant to the professions.
How many different degrees does Heriot Watt University offer?
In all, you can study 40 different degrees here at this campus, in engineering, in science, in subjects related to business studies, accountancy and economics.
One of the most peculiar degrees is brewing and distilling. In our visit to Heriot Watt University, we visited the International Centre for Brewing and Distilling, possibly the only one in the world offering this degree to undergraduates.
The students learn the best way of brewing beer or distilling whiskey in order to be able to apply this knowledge later in the beer and whiskey industry. Professor Ian Campbell explained to us why this degree was created.
Well, that's for historical reasons. In Edinburgh, at one time, we had over 30 breweries. Heriot Watt College, as it then was, trained students for industry, and since brewing was a very important local industry, it became an important subject in the Heriot Watt College, now Heriot Watt University.
Classes are very practical and attempt to prepare professionals who will be able to work in different jobs in industry, both in Great Britain and abroad. We asked Professor Campbell about the professional careers open to students who take this course.
Oh, they find jobs in many different industries. Some find jobs in the malting industry, preparing malt for breweries and distilleries. Others work in small breweries where they carry out everything in that brewery. Others in the brewing industry are working in a particular department of the brewery, and then others go into the distilling industry. And a few students have found work elsewhere, as in wine or cider production.
Heriot Watt University has 8,800 students. About 1,400 live on campus. During our visit, we saw students from different countries. That's why we asked Mr. Boak if Spanish students can also study at Heriot Watt.
Spanish students can indeed study at Heriot Watt. They are very welcome here, whether as full-time students spending 3 or 4 years, or as exchange students coming here perhaps just for 1 year, as students of language or of science or of engineering.
A wonderful opportunity to study in one of the most modern European universities, Heriot Watt.
A beautiful place to study at, don't you think?
Yep, and with some very interesting courses. But let's see if our friends have got all the answers. The first question was, how many different degrees does Heriot Watt offer? Mr. Boak gave us the answer.
In all, you can study 40 different degrees here at this campus, in engineering, in science, in subjects related to business studies, accountancy and economics.
You can study 40 different degrees at Heriot Watt.
The next question was, why does it have a degree in brewing and distilling? Listen to Professor Campbell's answer.
Well, that's for historical reasons. In Edinburgh, at one time, we had over 30 breweries. Heriot Watt College, as it then was, trained students for industry, and since brewing was a very important local industry, it became an important subject in the Heriot Watt College, now Heriot Watt University.
For historical reasons, brewing was a very important local industry in Edinburgh.
And the last question was, is Heriot Watt open to Spanish students? Let's hear the answer.
Spanish students can indeed study at Heriot Watt. They are very welcome here.
Yes, Spanish students are very welcome.
Well, now you know where you have to go if you want to study brewing and distilling. But let's go on with the program.
Now it's time for a sketch. We're going to watch a very interesting debate about the advantages and disadvantages of going to a public school, un colegio privado, or a comprehensive school, un centro público de enseñanza.
Let's watch Play It Again.
Gary and I were schoolmates at Eton.
Sarah doesn't like public schools. She didn't want our boy to go to a public school, Martin.
Really?
No. She went to a comprehensive, you know.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Sarah. I think all children should have the opportunity of going to a public school.
Well, I think education is more than a question of just manners or discipline.
When I started school, I had nothing but my natural intelligence.
Oh, so little.
And with manners and discipline, I've managed to...
Make people believe you are intelligent.
Of course.
Well, besides, you make good friends at boarding school.
A roommate can be more important than a member of your own family.
Certainly. Martin and I used to have pillow fights most nights. Remember what?
We shared a room for 6 years.
I can't understand why you didn't marry each other.
Well, you asked me to marry you first, didn't you?
Well, don't worry. If you want to marry him, I'll give you a divorce.
Oh, Sarah.
Could you please help me with my homework?
Yes.
You see, Sarah? He'll never be able to get into a good university.
Gary, he's only 9.
Nonsense. When we were his age, we could read Shakespeare.
And Wilde.
And Chesterton.
Excellent cigarettes.
Cigarettes? Oh, you mean Chesterfield. Chesterton was a writer.
It was a joke. I love Chesterton, but I preferred cricket.
Cricket? I can't remember that author of cricket.
Let's have a look at that homework then, Kevin.
Let's see. European capital cities. This is going to be easy.
Yes, it's really easy. Although I teach mathematics. Now, the capital of Germany is, Oslo.
No, you're wrong, old boy. Oslo is the capital of Holland. The capital of Germany is Bonn.
Not anymore. Now it's Berlin.
Are you trying to say that I don't know the capital of Germany?
You're always cheating in the geography examinations.
Well, that's why I failed my exams. Anyway, the capital is Bonn.
Berlin.
Oh, no, it's Bonn.
It's Berlin.
Oh, Martin, please, it's Bonn.
I'm telling you, it's Berlin.
Oh, stop it.
It's Berlin.
It's Bonn.
Berlin.
Oh, damn it.
Well, few children are lucky enough to have a teacher to help them do their homework, huh?
Yes, some children are lucky.
What is it, music?
Oh, now you've got me really confused.
Oh, come on.
You're absolutely right, old boy. Yes.
In this unit, we've learned how to report commands.
I told you to do your homework first.
And requests.
You asked me to marry you first.
Y también hemos aprendido algunas expresiones útiles para presentar nuestras ideas de manera organizada en un debate o por escrito.
For example, to sum up, para resumir. Well, and that's all for today. This is the end of today's program and nearly the end of Module 7.
In the next program, our friends from the BBC will help you to revise what you've been learning this term.
And don't forget to work a few minutes every day with your book and cassette. Como dijo Kant, hay cosas que no basta con haberlas aprendido.
La cita es muy buena, pero no es de Kant, es de Séneca.
Kant, Séneca, Groucho Marx, ¿qué más da? Lo importante es aprender inglés con That's English. See you soon.
Bye bye.